What's good, everybody? This episode of the podcast is sponsored by DistroKid. They are the go-to for digital music distribution and the easiest way for musicians to get their music onto Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, and more. They offer unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of their earnings, getting your music onto platforms and into stores 10 to 20 times faster than any other distributor. They help with cover song clearance, automatic splits, and they offer all kinds of tools and templates to help you get the most visibility for your releases. I dig this company and appreciate their business model that offers more features and tools than any other distributor while doing it at the most affordable price for solo artists, bands, DJs, studio artists, and any other creators that are making music or producing music in their home, and they offer label services as well. They've got 3 different tiers that they offer to creators that start as low as $22.99 a year. That's just $1.92 a month. And even their top tier is only $7.50 per month. And the best part about DistroKid sponsoring the podcast is they are offering Dan Cable Presents listeners 30% off their first year of service with DistroKid, making their affordable prices even cheaper for you. I will put that discount link in the episode notes. It will also be in my Instagram bio. Big shout out to DistroKid for sponsoring this podcast for more than 3 years now. Much appreciated. Now let's get into the episode.
Look down at the
What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dan Cable Presents podcast. Thank you for tuning into the program once again. If this is your first time listening, thanks for checking out the show. You can find fresh episodes coming at you on Tuesdays. And if you want to help support this thing in a free way, you can do so by clicking subscribe on iTunes, clicking write a review, giving the podcast 5 stars if you feel like it is deserving of so. And that will help propel this thing into the tops of those iTunes charts, giving it more visibility on the national and international levels, helping strangers find the podcast, and just a hell of a way to contribute to the growth and sustainability of this thing. And I really appreciate all the people that have taken the time to do so. If you're not listening on Apple or watching on something that doesn't even make sense, if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, the only place that you can watch it, then you can hit subscribe there, or just like, follow, subscribe, the thing. Wherever you can do that, you can do it. And please tell a friend about the podcast if you are enjoying it as well. Hope everybody is doing well out there, keeping your head above the water. I talked to my guests about water a bit in this episode. Katy Ohsiek is on the show. Katy has a project called Katy and the Null Sets, which was the focus of this conversation. They just recently put out a record called Troublemaker not too long ago. I was at that album release show and got to see the band play just a couple weeks ago at Holocene, and it was really killer set. Katy, it was also on episode 410 of this podcast with their creative partner in a band called Foamboy, who I am also extremely fond on. That was episode 410. I was looking at it just before I started doing this intro, and that was nearly 2 years ago, May 7th of 2024. We put that episode out. If you are unfamiliar, I just highly encourage that you go check out some Foamboy music after you listen to this episode. But really great to sit down with Katy and get to do the one-on-one, doing a group hang or a duo chat, doesn't always allow for the deep dive on music background or just kind of getting into different topics. And just had such a nice conversation and hang with Katy. Got to know them a little bit more through the chat, and really got to kind of dive into what the solo work looks like for this Katy and the Null Sets band. Katy is just such a great songwriter and just killer musician as well. We talk about it a little bit in this episode, but I've gotten to see them play in some other projects now. I saw Katy play guitar and synths at a Chip Nail Polish show here in Portland, Oregon for the Chip Nails album release show. Jill, check out Jill's project, Chip Nails, another great Portland band. But that was the first time that I got to see Katy play in a band that wasn't something that they were fronting. So I feel like, I've really gotten to kind of take it in from a lot of different angles. I've seen Foamboy play a few times. I've listened to that music quite a bit, and now I've gotten to see Katy and the Null Sets a couple times, and have done the deep dive on Katy's music catalog. So hyped to share this episode with you, and we're definitely going to feature some tracks from that Troublemaker record throughout, and there's also even a clip of an older track from the EP prior to this Troublemaker record from Katy and the Null Sets as well, which is a really cool collection of tunes that is a much different feel than the Troublemaker record. But all of the links for Katy and the Null Sets will be in the episode notes. I'll throw the Foamboy stuff up there. Also, you should reach out to Katy if you are interested in any choir stuff. You'll understand when you hear this conversation. But Katy leads some choirs as well, and it seems like it's something that's like very accessible. You don't have to be some incredible, crazy, well-trained singer to join these types of ensembles. So if you're feeling the itch to let your tenor rip, or I don't know, maybe you're more of an alto. What are the other ones? I don't know. Put it in the comments, but pretty sure during last week's episode I said it was episode 470. It definitely wasn't. That was 469 with Lucas Benoit. This is episode 470. Katy Ohsiek is back on the show. Katy and the Null Sets is the project we're talking about a bunch, and to kick things off, we're going to play the first track off of the Troublemaker record. It's called Fuck Me. Now let's do the damn thing.
I say I'll miss you, and you say whatever. Fuck me for saying how I feel. One month apart shouldn't bother me then.
Kind of just the best show like ever, but I'm tired, and I also went back to work this week because of the PCC strike. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
I have.
Situation,
But it's over.
It's over, which is great.
Yeah.
We are gonna make more money.
Great.
But I am 3 weeks of striking meant that I just kind of got used to a little 11 a.m. start.
Yeah.
Now it's 9 a.m. So anyway, that long story. I'm tired.
You're getting back to having structure in your life,
which is good. It's like good to have structure, and I'm at my worst when there's no structure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like I think days 1 and 2 of no structure are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But then it gets bad.
Yeah.
It's the ice cream for every meal sort of like vibe. Doesn't work.
Yeah. So when you're not playing music, teaching is your day gig?
Yeah, I teach math.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that weird?
It's something. I don't know if it's weird.
I feel like it's weird just like because it seems so buttoned up. And also like art, I think arts people can be pretty math phobic.
Okay.
So, but also I hear a lot that math and music are really related, and they are, like for sure.
Yeah. Thinking about
time and structure of those things. Like,
I think that for sure, but also the fact I think that it's a language, but it's like a symbolic language. Like you're teaching. I would say that math is all about, it's like pattern finding and problem solving, and the way that we write math is like a specific language, and there's a huge learning curve on that. And same with like writing music or writing like sheet music and stuff. So it's all, I feel like it is all about like structure, like you said. But yeah, I teach math at Portland Community College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it nice that that's like working maybe like a completely different part of your brain too, rather than it being like you're not teaching like creative writing or something that like maybe would interfere with like some of your creative energy for making music?
Yeah, it does feel like a completely different thing. And when I've taught music in the past, I felt myself getting a little burnt out on that. What do I want to say about that? It is different, but what's similar is that it's performance. And I find myself landing in like leadership role type stuff over and over. I think it's just, it's the performance. Granted, it's not that. It's pretty different from being on stage, but like I am talking in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like appear that you have control over the situation too.
Totally.
You know, like you don't want to see a professor not feel like they have control over the room. I think the same way that you don't want to watch the front person for a band feel like they don't have control over the situation. Like you want to have confidence in those people, I think.
I completely agree. I like how you've put that. It's, and when I started teaching, I was super apologetic. Primarily because people are very tortured by math in general. Like they come in with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
So I think my initial approach was really like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry you have to do math. But like, turns out I've learned that I should just own it and be like, we're doing math now.
Yeah.
And I promise it's not as scary as you think. I just try to be a gentle grader, and the more I teach, the more I own that I do math. I think it's actually a really freaking cool discipline, and it gets a bad rap for some valid reasons, but also that kind of perpetuates itself, and then it's like cool to hate math. You know what I mean? Right?
What do you think like the valid reasons are to like that it gets shit?
It's taught kind of poorly. Because, like, people like crosswords, right? People like Sudoku.
Yeah.
Arguably, math is puzzles, right? But then I think the way that it's graded in this very binary right or wrong way is part of how we lose people. And it could be taught in a more inquiry-based way, and it's slower. Like the problem with inquiry-based like education is that it takes longer because you're like letting people come to the conclusion themselves, but the learning outcomes are better.
Yeah.
It could be taught as more of an art, honestly. You could say the same about music. Like a lot of people have baggage around music education.
Yes. Some people walk away from those music schools very scarred and like burnt out, and they're like, I don't want to fucking even do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because this professor like sucked the joy out of it.
And even if we think even earlier to that, like I also lead a community choir. That's one of my gigs. And a lot of those folks come in with like some baggage about being bad at recorder or someone saying that they shouldn't sing like early in life.
Yeah.
Or they're like, I could just never get a hang of sight reading or whatever. Just like these very intense, like we have these really high expectations, and in the educational world, we need more freedom. And that's sounding very Montessori, but like, I think if we taught math with like a little more discovery and like the joy of the puzzle in mind, it would be, I think more people would have a better relationship with it. But that comes down to like a whole systemic overhaul of how math is taught. But I like it, and it works for my brain. and I've been doing math for a long time. It's
Yeah.
actually the origin of my artist name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Katy and the Null Sets. Null set is the null set is the set. It's a concept in set theory, which is something you don't do until you've trudged through calculus and multivariable calculus. Then you get to take advanced math, like intro classes. In set theory, the empty set or the null set is the set containing nothing. Like, it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
And I chose that name when I was 19, and I was taking that math class, and I thought I needed a artist name that avoided my last name because it looks scary when it's written. So that's where Katy and the Null Sets came from.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I feel like you need to play a show with Mr. Vale's math class.
I know I should. And we've talked about
A
it.
math themed show, you know?
We probably need a third band on the bill.
Maybe.
I don't know who.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's my last name just like looks scary on paper, so I just wanted something
Yeah,
else.
that makes sense.
I'm not like saying Katy and the Null Sets in a loud bar is better. You know what I mean? Like trying to clearly communicate your band name is like never easy.
Yeah.
No matter what you pick.
It's a fun little Easter egg for the folks who are familiar with that level of math.
Yeah,
you know?
some comp sci people, some math people are like, cool.
Yeah.
Most people are like, what?
Yeah.
But your fun fact of the minute is that my dad's stage name is Guitar Bob for a similar reason, avoiding the last name.
Beautiful. I think that might
yeah.
have gotten mentioned when we did the Foamboy episode, possibly.
I repeated myself.
It's okay. I don't know that for a fact. It kind of stands out in my mind. I'm not going to tell you that I sat and listened to that episode to prepare for this. I thought about it.
So we
but
don't
I
repeat
didn't.
ourselves.
But that's also okay. 'Cause
Yeah, okay.
It's the one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know?
It is.
We don't have Will to distract us from having a good conversation. Just kidding.
Yeah, I will keep that fact to myself next
Okay.
time.
Yeah. We won't. It
Yeah.
won't appear on episode 3.
Yeah, we won't mention
come
Guitar Bob.
But that sounds like I don't know. At least you're not an English teacher and you have to read 4, 5, 10-page essays and have to do a lot. I feel like maybe your grading situation maybe a little less
It's not too bad.
time consuming.
It is not bad.
That's great.
I've got a friend who teaches English at PCC, and the essay reading seems brutal.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's not my subject.
Yeah. You said you kind of like always seem to find yourself in these like leadership type roles or leading the class. Like, was that something that goes back to childhood?
No, I think it just has everything to do with being down to be the center of attention, which feels goofy. I feel like it makes me think of I'm thinking about Facebook, and I'm thinking about how we like criticized attention whores.
Yeah.
Like that's like a concept that that's an insult you could lobby. You could like throw at somebody. Like you're supposed to be humble and like be like, oh, don't make me sing or
Yeah.
whatever. And then like secretly be really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, I feel like the older as I've gotten older, like around through college and stuff, I was like, oh, I enjoy the spotlight. I don't freak out when I'm the center of attention. So like that is actually like a service, and like not everybody likes that. And I don't think it necessarily means that I'm not humble, but it's like it's a skill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So I feel like that's sort of led me. I think the world has sort of been like, oh, you're good at being in charge here. And like, I end up just doing like leading bands and teaching and leading choirs and stuff. That just, keeps coming up.
Was choir like entry point for music for you?
It was somewhat. I think I was destined to do music because of Guitar Bob.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You just saw Guitar Bob playing music as a kid, and you're like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah, it was such a given and such a constant in my life. I started doing choir in 3rd grade, sort of like in addition to the required singing that everybody does in elementary school. And I have like an intuition for harmony, singing like not singing the melody. So I've also been rewarded for my choir skills for a lot of that time. So that also felt like this given. And I connected with it more than I connected with concert band, say. Yeah. Were you a concert band?
No.
No?
I did choir though. Like not really in school, but definitely like, you know, church choir, Catholic church vibe,
okay.
You know, like singing in that choir every Sunday.
What are your thoughts on choir now?
That it's pretty impressive to me. Like I think I like really appreciate getting to see some sort of choral performance, you know, just because I think that it's pretty incredible to just watch people do the thing with their voice and no instrumentation.
It's a lot, and it's like exercise and coordination.
Yeah,
right.
I recently got exposed to like that mouthful of teeth world. I don't know if you like know any of these, or like the Lorelei Ensemble. These are like very like pretty well-known choral groups that travel around the country and do these like crazy performances at performing arts centers, and it's just like a very next level and like pretty artsy stuff, I guess. Yeah, my uncle sang in the Portland Gay Men's Chorus for a really long time, and I remember like seeing those performances and like seeing him do the thing at the Schnitz, you know, and like it's always pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like really impressive. Like,
yeah. Do you feel like it? Is there like an emotional resonance with watching a group of people sing?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of, because I think that there's something kind of like primal about group singing. Like the first things we did, like we all have always sung, danced, and like played drums.
Yeah.
Like since forever. And I feel like as a choir participant and a choir leader, like it is just so important to like, it does something to the brain that's like not top of the brain. Some scientist out there, I'm talking out of my ass, sort of. There's science, probably.
Yeah. I think it can definitely like evoke a different emotion, or like seeing that versus seeing a band play. Especially if it's like maybe like an instrumental jazz band. Like that feels very different than watching a group of people just sing together. And that being all that's needed to create something like engaging. And
yeah.
You know?
I think it's cool. It sucks that it has I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. To some it has a bad rap, but I think a lot of instrumentalists are like afraid of singing. Or like they had to do choir as part of their degree or whatever.
Or it's not cool.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't know. Yeah. It's not as hip as like going to see like the coolest band in Portland play Mississippi Studios.
I know. It's like, it's for some reason it's dorky.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's actually really cool. Or if it's not cool, that's fine. But yeah, I've just done so much choir in my life.
Yeah. I just stuck with it.
Yeah, I did. I did it through, I did it all through high school. And then that's when I started doing jazz choir, which is the definition of uncool. It is so nerdy. It's so dorky. I don't know. I hope I don't offend any listeners with that take. It's just, as a jazz choir lover, it's not cool at all.
Not cool.
And like where I was doing, the context in which I was doing jazz choir, I don't know, like it's just a little bit buttoned up. What's interesting about it is like learning how to do like interesting, tight, like rhythms and harmonies. Like you're doing basically like what a big band horn section might be doing, but with your voices, which is hard and kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I like learned a lot from, I think a lot of my like ear training has come from doing jazz choir more so than like standard like classical choir. And then I did a cappella in college. Can't avoid that. You know, there was a boom. There was an acapella boom back then. And I was in a really intense choral program at Willamette University that almost killed the joy. I'd had to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now you lead like this group.
I lead a community non-audition acapella group.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's called PDX Vox, and it's been around for over 20 years. And yeah, it's like 24. There's like 6 choirs total, and they're all of like 24 people in them. And it's interesting. It's definitely different from college acapella, which was super collaborative. For this, I'm very much like in charge. But it's good, and it's kind of healed my relationship with choir after getting burnt out in undergrad. Just remembering that it's for fun.
Yeah.
And like at the same time, like I do appreciate opportunities to flex my muscles and like be a participant. But that's my side gig. It's kind of random and awesome that I do that for money.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Very cool. Does that feel like it occupies a pretty different space in your brain versus, playing music in Foamboy or with the Null Sets?
Mm-hmm,
like how are those different?
It's I don't know. It's a gig in a way that it's less of an artistic toil.
Okay.
I would say. And part of the gig is arranging the songs. But I think what's interesting about being a choral leader is that you are in service of your choir members. In a way, it's like, it's not about me, like at all. And even like I have to it's an exercise in putting aside my ego in some ways. Like if I make a bad call in an arrangement, or even like I pick a song that doesn't really land with the group, like that's on me. It feels like a service, more so than I think doing Foamboy or doing Katy the Null Sets is like kind of just we're doing our thing, and if you like it, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you at the Christmas show?
I was not.
Yeah, because it's a different project, but that is like also been really fun.
It seems very fun.
Yeah. I didn't do that for free.
Yeah.
But in addition to doing the a cappella choir job at PDX Vox, it seems like now it's an annual thing to do this Christmas show of just I think it's being called the Forest Church Community Choir, but there's no church affiliation at all. Also, you can join if you want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Yeah.
If you like choir,
I used to.
let me know.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think that like lasted past 10. For me,
what part?
I don't.
10 years old?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, you got to get back in there.
Like I don't know that there was like a crazy amount of guidance happening, but I just remember it was the thing that got me through church. Like I didn't have to just sit there, because if not, I was having a rough time.
Well, it's kind of
fiddling
boring,
around
right?
Especially Catholic church.
Yeah.
Just
It's long.
screwing around in that pew, just like, when is this over?
And it's what, hour and a half?
Yeah.
2 hours?
Hour and a half,
That's a long time
some
for
are
a
longer
kid.
than others. I definitely got hit a couple times by some old ladies with Bibles, for fidgeting around.
That's really actually very bad.
Yeah, it's pretty funny
Yeah.
though. Like looking back, it's pretty funny.
You can
to
look
me.
at it with humor, but
Man,
that seems gnarly.
Yeah.
You should consider joining the
Sounds pretty fun.
Christmas choir. Yeah.
As far as, I don't know, you mentioned maybe like people that like feel or maybe have been labeled as people that can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that is like, I don't know, what am I trying to say? Is maybe somebody that's not traditionally like a great singer, them singing as like in a choir, do you think that's like something that is maybe more achievable because they are focusing on maybe one element of like tone and or like just one small piece of the thing where like, yes, maybe if they were singing as a soloist or, you know, like fronting a band, they would like not be able to hack it, but like as a group, they can find their way and you can kind of hone the craft. Does that make sense? Anything
I think I'm
saying?
following. If you're saying, like, you say you're a bad singer, can you still do choir?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why I didn't just simplify. Leave it to the math teacher to simplify. You know?
You know, that's the thing, and that's why I'm pushing this, because there's especially a lot of these instrumentalists are like, oh, like, I don't sing. I was like, okay, like, you can do choir, and even if you're kind of bad, like, there's usually like a critical mass of like people who can like learn the part, and then they lift you up and you learn.
Yeah.
You like learn how to be a better like singer like in that context. Yeah, you go for it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I've had a few musician friends who've joined this choir, this Christmas choir, who I've just been like, yeah, you want to start singing, like start here.
Yeah.
It's low pressure. You are one of like 30 voices, so no one's gonna like laugh at you. No one's gonna be able to hear you specifically. Like, and then you just learn, you improve your ear because you're singing a part. You're not the melody. And yeah, I can think of no cons.
Yeah. You think undoubtedly all of this choir experience has like really maybe informed or shaped the way that you do sing as a vocalist leading a band, whether it's Foamboy or Katy and the Null Sets, like even within your delivery, is that like reflected to you when you listen back?
Nah, I don't know. Other people have said yes, but I don't see it because the way that I sing in a choir is very different from how I sing to front a band. Because like in a choir, you're typically trying to like match your neighbors. So you take out a lot of the styling, or specifically either you take out the styling or you're matching everybody in like your tone. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I think I've learned a lot more actually from my brief stint with voice lessons, which is always my second recommendation to people. First, I'm like, join a choir. And then second, like even just like a few voice lessons can be so transformative.
Yeah.
And empowering. I think everyone can sing. This is turning into a soapbox. I mean it. Like everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. Yeah.
Why not?
I took voice lessons in college and undergrad, and it made me so much better. And shout out Laura Aguero. She like saved me from a lifetime of mediocre singing. It was humbling, but I still use a lot of those like ideas today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's just like someone showing you these techniques that like really can be game changers?
I think it's also another like ego exercise, like being willing to sound bad or push the boundaries on what your voice can do and not like chicken out. I think that is the utility of any sort of like teacher, personal trainer, whatever, like tutor, those one-on-one experiences, like someone who's like, okay, try the hard thing. I'll wait.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you can't, I think if you're trying to train something by yourself, it's easier to bail and be like, like I can't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting that push from like an outside perspective is what I would credit for the most part. Even like a teacher, I just think a lot of it is, willingness to do the scary, like vulnerable thing and also getting your reps in.
Yeah.
Everyone can sing. I don't know where the camera is.
It's right there on the desk.
Everyone can sing.
I like that you're on your everybody's an artist shit, you know?
Oh yeah, that's important. Everyone's an artist, and people come to me after shows and they're like, like your voice, you know. I'm like, Aval, I worked hard for this. Like I did not come out of the womb with a magnificent voice. I had to train for it, and also so can you. That's what I have to say about that.
Your voice is pretty sick, though.
Oh, thank you.
You know, it's
I worked hard.
It's pretty great, and I do definitely feel like it is I don't know, just feels like you've carved out your own sound, like as far as your delivery, turns of phrases and stuff, and then kind of getting to hear it in like both the context of the Foamboy stuff, which was my entry point to hearing your voice, versus what you do with the Null Sets, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, oh yeah, it's Katy's voice.
It's definitely a different context, and like those two bands bring out a different thing. I feel like I have more chances to kind of shred, for lack of a better word, with Foamboy. That has its time and place.
Yeah.
You don't always need to do your acrobatics, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to hear both takes of it, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, kind of nice to just like get to hear where your ideas are at, like outside of the Foamboy stuff, which I know is just like much more of a collaboration with you and Will, versus I'm assuming you're usually writing these Katy and the Null Sets songs
those are all
just
me.
by yourself. So tell me about that path towards becoming a songwriter. When did that happen for you? Guitar Bob passes you a guitar. What's happening?
I didn't give a fuck about guitar until I was 16.
I thought you were going to say Guitar Bob. I was like, whoa, all right.
No, I love my dad.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to create controversy. I'm just trying to create clips here, Katy.
You're just trying
Okay?
to get me canceled.
Trying to get clickbaity clips.
So this might be a repeat on the Foamboy episode, but I'll say it anyway.
It's been almost 2 years. It's fine.
Has it really?
Like a year and a half,
Oh my gosh.
actually. It's
Okay.
crazy, right?
So when I was 16, I met a boy, and he wrote music, and I was like, holy shit, I need to do that. So it was kind of in the classic impress another teen
Okay.
sort of situation. And my first songs were ass. They were so bad. And now they're okay. It was like, it was also, mind you, it was 2013.
Okay.
So this is Vampire Weekend's like heyday, Bon Iver, self-titled, Andrew Bird,
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys, Lana Del Rey, like all of just the Tumblr indie, twee. That was the time. And I drew so much influence from specifically Bon Iver that my first songs the lyrics made no sense, and I mumbled also.
Yeah.
And I know Bon Iver's lyrics like do have a meaning. It's pretty obscured. Like,
Yeah.
it's under some layers of like, you know, you have to kind of read the Genius page.
For sure. And there's also like kind of that, you know, when something like that kind of breaks through, there's a bunch of people trying to do that thing. And it's just like, for better or worse.
Oh yeah, and
know?
in my situation, for worse, it took me a while to get to a spot where I could actually be vulnerable with my lyrics, and not worry about like layering like $5 words over it,
Yeah.
and just kind of like letting it be. To me, like where I've landed is like it's all about imagery and like a mix of just imagery and honesty. Like you can kind of paint a picture about like the thing that happened or the thing that this reminded you of, but like I'm not interested in like obscuring the meaning of my music anymore, or like making it something to be discovered and like poured over.
Yeah.
I want to be understood. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I started when I was 16. My songs were bad. They got good. It's been, I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's just kind of this constant process of like, this constant process of getting better, being informed by what I'm listening to at the time, being informed by like my other musical experiences, getting better at guitar very, very slowly. And yeah, my work with jazz, learning covers always like gives me a new boost of like inspiration on how I write or what I can do. I'm very inspired by my friends and how they write as well. Gosh, that's such That's so not a non-story. I just write music.
Not everything has to be a story.
I know. There's no narrative. I just started writing when I was 16 and I haven't stopped.
Also, you're doing, I think, a good amount of storytelling through the music. You know?
Right,
So
right.
it's not like you're a bad storyteller.
Nah, there's just nothing much to say about like how the journey of songwriting is just that I started young, and it is like such an important part of my emotional process. It's something that I feel like I'm just gonna do forever. I've dabbled in production. Like I know my way around Logic. My earlier albums, like I produced myself as well.
Yeah.
And now I'm like not as into that because I think it's more fun to work collaboratively. And my style has morphed a lot over the years. And I have openness for it to continue to morph because life is long and I'm like not going to pick a genre, I would say.
Yeah. So did you just pick up a guitar around that time of being like 16 when you met the dude and you were like, oh, I'm going to write songs too, and like started making those first few collections of tunes?
Yeah, that was when I was like, one of the guitars in the house, just grabbed one and like taught myself how to play Skinny Love by
Okay.
Bon Iver.
Yeah.
What else can you do?
Hell yeah.
You can't skip that one. It was 2013. Yeah. In my first songs, I needed to I borrowed melodies and stuff like that. And yeah, no, I just started. I'm self-taught on guitar and songwriting.
What about I was cruising through the old Bandcamp today, Katie.
Oh,
I like that you have everything up.
you know what? I kind of hate that other artists get rid of everything. It makes it seem like they popped out of Zeus's head fully formed,
Yeah.
like Athena. I think that's Athena.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a
either Athena or Artemis. Oh God.
theology major either.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's Athena. I think Athena came out of Zeus's skull.
But yeah, it was cool to see that you did like those were all like DIY recordings. So
Yeah.
you figured your way around those things pretty early on
I did.
as well.
Yeah, I wish I had more. I wish I'd had more help, I think, in hindsight. And I think that I micromanaged and just overworked like my recordings in a lot of ways. And I'm trying how I write now is like just like letting the song speak for itself. I just think they're overworked, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. You're trying to do too much.
yeah.
You weren't simplifying.
Exactly. And the first, especially, a lot of that was also informed by that guy
Yeah.
that I worked with, / my high school boyfriend I dated. We like made University's EP is my first release. It's
Yeah.
still on Bandcamp if you want to
Sure
listen
is.
to it.
Listen to it this morning. I'm fresh off it all.
Oh my God. It's honestly like, it's not so bad.
I don't think it's bad at all.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's high school, right?
Yeah.
Like that's amazing.
Yeah. But like if I could go back and redo those songs, I would simplify and I would just simplify it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're just a little bit like there's something kind of manic about an 18-year-old with a recording with an 18-year-old with Logic open. But like full credit to Sam. I still like that EP. I'm glad we made it together. Sam,
Yeah.
if you're listening, thank you.
I just think it's cool that you figured it out so that you could like facilitate your own ideas at that time. Like whether it was that collection of tunes or the next one, like seems like there wasn't like a barrier for you other than like wherever you were at creatively.
Yeah.
That you could record your ideas and like in a way that felt like you could share them.
And I mean, like, fuck Apple for being what it is. Like, any big company is annoying. Apple in particular is so like insular. Like, you have to have all the things from our brand that like talk to each other. But
Yeah.
Logic is great, and I feel like it's such an amazing starting point. Even GarageBand like can get you pretty far.
Yeah.
I'm just like so glad that I learned my way around a DAW like pretty young, it's like fucking hard. And like also women, people raised as women, like we are not encouraged to do that shit. So like I'm very grateful also to have been sort of like shoved in. Like I just started that young and like dealt with the learning curve then.
Yeah. I just think it's cool that your era of folks had the accessibility to something like GarageBand or Logic, because I'm a bit older, so like when I was in high school, you really had to like either know somebody who like had like proper recording, like there just wasn't like a GarageBand option.
Totally.
It was like you had to go to some sort of studio kind of. So that like makes it a little more difficult sometimes to just like create, I think, in some ways, you know, or explore, or even like learn how to get good enough where maybe you do feel good enough to go to a proper recording studio, so you're not just like wasting a bunch of time and money there, you know, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. No, it's a huge deal that we have access to that. Like Logic is $200.
Yeah.
Last I checked.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. Like it comes with all of these, like there's so many synths in there. There's so many.
Yeah.
Like you don't need a single instrument. In fact, like everything that I've produced by myself in Logic, I didn't even have a MIDI controller. I just used the keyboard. Like,
that's amazing.
To play the notes. Like you don't, the barrier for entry is like so low. And the con being that like it might sound like a preset, you know, like someone might be like, oh, I know what that Logic preset is, but like also who cares? Like I think it's all about process anyway and what you can learn from it.
Yeah. But overall, like music's still kind of the thing that like helps you kind of like process the world around you.
Yeah.
And, like what you're experiencing, because your songs often like feel like these little intimate diary entries to me at points where you're just, you know, sharing these very personal thoughts and giving people kind of this glimpse into your world, even though maybe it's just like a short little blip in the day, you know?
I just think that that's the most interesting style of songwriting, or at least it's what's most interesting to me. I'd rather take the opportunity to be honest than like do like storytelling about an unrelated thing.
Yeah.
Granted, like I do like appreciate that sort of style of writing when it's well done. It just doesn't occur to me, I would say. I know it's very personal, and occasionally I remember and I'm like, oh. And it's interesting when it's an opinion or thought or feeling that is like long since expired.
Yeah.
And it's not how I feel anymore. The song Twin is an example of that. I wrote it in 2019 and I was like, that was just an experience. That song is basically a like looking for my soulmate sort of song. And now I kind of don't believe in soulmates. Like, I think that that's a weird construct, but like, I still perform that song.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't agree with what I'm saying in it anymore, which is interesting to sort of, freeze that moment in time and then continue to, I guess, like, how do I communicate? Like, hey, I don't agree with this anymore, but here's a song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's still, obviously something that was in your head at one point, and I still think like communicates a feeling. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's rad still. It's like, yeah, definitely a song that stands out to me and on the record.
People like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that it's in 6. That's what I like about that song. I think that has some like sneaky good writing that I didn't intend. Even at the time, I don't think I knew like how like just sort of funky it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like that song, and I'm continue to like have openness to the past versions of myself and what they had to say.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I would assume it still has a place near and dear to you if 6 years later you put it on a record.
Well, yeah, I performed it, and Justin was like, that one's good. And I was like, okay. Sure.
It's gonna hang.
Let's re-record it. Yeah. The early version of it is on a previous album. And I'm really glad to redo it. And I'm coming around to redoing the songs that deserve a second pass at recording. I feel like the whole Taylor's version business has maybe given that a bad rap of like re-recording songs, but I think it's great.
Looking for my twin who like my jokes and play along. Appreciate the sunlight in my hair. It's there.
Because there's even some of at least one or two of the Null Set songs, like some of the earlier ones that ended up on Foamboy record. Is there one song?
Yes.
I swear, I wish I should have taken a better note, but I listened to something earlier today, and I was like, this is a Foamboy song.
I think so.
And I'm sorry that I'm
It's okay.
shitty at referencing.
No,
right
it's
now.
fine. There's overlap for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have plans to re-record a few other things, just because I have better resources. I have a better mic. Like I'm gonna continue to do that.
I think that makes sense too. Like you have a clear vision, I'm sure, for like what you want things to sound like now too, and just a little more evolved as a person and an artist. You know,
I can sing better, and it's the things that are worth re-recording. I plan to do that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It means something different in a re-record. It's not this like super fresh, like shiny, raw feeling anymore when you go back and redo it.
It must be something you feel like has something special about it still, though. Maybe if it's like not connecting necessarily to the words in the same way, like you feel like something is there that like could be shaken out of this thing that you didn't quite get right or something.
Yeah, or there's this distance to just recognize something as like a good song and not be so focused on like whether or not it is reflecting my current reality. And that's something I've come around to. Well, there's two things. I don't know if this is related at all. I'm more willing to fabricate details than I ever have been. I used to be like, it all has to be 100% true, which, again, like, who's checking? That makes no sense.
Also, that's part of being a good storyteller, I think.
Yeah,
it's like choosing when to fabricate details to make the story more engaging and
or even make it more true, weirdly. Or like it's not factually true, but you gave a detail that communicates that feeling better.
Is there any examples of that you like feel like show itself on the Trouble record?
The song itself, Troublemaker. I'm thinking through those lyrics.
We'll do a sponsor read. This episode is brought to you by Apple, the company that Katy just shit all over. I'm just kidding. We're not sponsored by any. We don't even do mid episode ad reads, so don't worry about it.
I can't think of anything because it's more modern.
That's okay.
Well, okay. This is like a reveal because I have a whole other album recorded.
Yeah.
That is waiting in the wings, being mixed as we speak. I wrote the lyric. I was gonna go home I was gonna go with someone to their hometown, and like he told me that I couldn't stay, like I would have to like get a hotel, which was like so horrible. Such horrible news. Yeah. And I wrote the lyric like, we're close enough to drive to Kansas, but not close enough to stay with your mom. But like, it's not actually his mom. It was like, I think his stepmom and dad, you know, but and that's like a tiny example, but like for the writing, it just like, I don't need to be like, actually it was your stepmom.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just like simplifying when it's needed is something that I'm still learning and getting better at, like serving the song and serving the feeling. Your details don't have to be like actually factual. Sometimes the factual details are super boring.
Yeah.
That was really long-winded. I guess we're on a podcast.
Yeah. That's what we're here to do. That's a good example.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just changing the detail slightly.
Yeah.
With the, and this is, yeah, this is another tangent. I feel like I have learned very recently that I basically, like, I wrote 2 albums worth of music about this, like, one ex, which is a hell of a thing to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Both Eating Me Alive by Foamboy,
Yes.
and Troublemaker
Okay.
by Katy The Null Sets
All right.
are, like, basically all about one person. And that happens. It happens. But, like, I've recently gone through a different breakup, and that's made me realize, like, oh, I kind of, like, held myself back in, like, recovering from that. And there's this very clear paper trail in my music about, like, how I did that and how stuck I was. And now that I've gone through this, like, other breakup, I'm like, whoa, like, I got stuck. And, like, now there's these 2 pretty good albums about it, but, like, that's never going to happen again. Like,
So you think, like, making the records and, like, spending time writing these songs is, like, that keeps you stuck in some way?
No, it's more just this record.
Okay.
It's a record of how stuck I was.
Okay.
I think
So you have this clear documentation.
which is just
wow.
interesting.
Not just 1, but 2.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
2
Hell yeah.
albums.
Yeah.
I know. And it's okay. I'm bringing up Taylor Swift again, but, like, people gave her so much shit for writing about her relationships, and that's dumb. We should write about whatever we want.
Yeah.
Nor can we, like, really control how quickly we recover from something. However, like, that's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lesson there. Like, I got stuck on somebody, and it's just interesting that it is, like, it's an archive, for better or
happens,
for worse.
you know?
Yeah.
I think that's just a part of the thing,
Oh yeah.
you know?
You can't skip it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have. I'm unlikely to write 2 albums worth of music about someone again.
I love the idea of, like, people that follow just, like, using that as the measuring stick. It's like, I didn't mean that much to you if I didn't get even an EP.
Exactly. It's a hell of a thing to be an artist. Like, we are writing about our relationships, whatever form they might be. I write about platonic relationships too. There's a lot to say about how we relate to other people. But it's just a hell of a thing to put the other person through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some really cool tracks on the How Many Other Bedrooms Will I Wake Up in EP.
Ooh.
Today was the first day I actually listened to that. And like that HMH song is banging.
Thank you.
Do you feel like that was maybe, like, the first time you made a collection of tunes that you felt like was, like, really communicating your vision?
Yes. And I had Justin mix that one. That's all produced by me. Like, that's all me and Logic.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Keyboard
Hell yeah.
notes. Yeah, I think that was my first album or, like, collection of songs that I also just, like, chilled out on. I didn't feel like I was overdoing it sonically. I let those songs breathe. But gosh, that's also an example of there's some yearning there that I am like, whoa, dude, like, chill out.
I mean, isn't that like, I don't know, it feels like what songwriters often do.
I
Like, that's the space
I
for
know.
it, you know? That's like what creates good art a lot of the time. And
Yeah, I know.
emotion is clearly there. Like, it doesn't feel like you're faking your way through
Boy, I'm not.
the thing, you know?
My favorite song off that album is Throwaway. I feel like that is such a capstone, like, summary of how I was feeling at that time. I was just a serial dater in a way that was, like, not good for me around that time. And yeah, the lyric, how many other bedrooms will I wake up in? I was having this experience of, like, yeah, waking up in some guy's bedroom and being like, oh my God. It's another one. Like, it's ugly in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Justin mix that one. We're actually talking about re-recording, redoing the vocals on it. and re-releasing it because I also did all those vocals during lockdown.
Okay.
So I was doing that in my bedroom, and my mic was just not the best mic. we'd just redo, like, just kind of clean it up and reissue it. But I'm glad you listened to it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's a cool record.
Feeling like a throwaway. How many other bedrooms will I wake up in? Since now we know that we are not forever. You say I'm cool, but that should be enough for me. Instead, I'm counting down the days and feeling like a throwaway.
Was that maybe like what Will heard that turned him on to wanting to work with you in Foamboy?
No, we've actually known each other since 2016.
Sorry, I was trying to like remember.
Yeah, we started working
Okay.
together in a different band called Chromatic Colors.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so we've
Never mind.
Yeah, it is like it's similar, but when left to my own devices, I'm more likely to write like the sort of sadder, moodier
Yeah.
beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, maybe I just like felt that just maybe sonically aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's like kind of big production on those where
Mm-hmm.
like with the Troublemaker record it feels like more of like a band singer-songwriter record. So like what pushed you in that direction? Because I think that there's like maybe glimpses of that throughout your Katy and the Null
Mm-hmm.
Set stuff where there's maybe like a solo stripped down song, but like nothing that feels quite like this collection of tunes.
I think I decided, there's a huge pile of songs that just don't fit with the produced synthy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm tired of putting these songs off to the side. So I wanted to just sort of center that sonic sound. I was about to say sonic sound. Anyway, like, I also think that inside me there are two wolves. there's the I just want to dance and make pop music
Yeah.
wolf. And then there's the I just want to be knockoff Fleet Foxes wolf. And there's hardly room for both. It's hard. I don't want to pick. So, and when I made this album, I was like, man, I wish this was pop music. But when I'm writing pop music, I'm like, I wish I was writing a Phoebe Bridgers type song right now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to figure out. I really like both.
It's cool that, I don't know, it seems like you're finding spaces for both.
Yeah, it's just hard to actually have time to do both.
Yeah.
And like the process of like marketing your music and stuff, like I feel like the world really rewards having a consistent brand, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think some people have found their way around it and like found success doing that.
I think so,
You know?
but it's when I think about like huge genre shifts, it's like people who are already super popular
Yeah.
so that their fans will follow them anywhere.
That is true.
And like before that, I do think like TikTok and whatever, God, hate to bring up TikTok, like it is rewarded to do the same thing until you are known. So that's tricky. It's kind of tricky to navigate that one.
But I think it's fun for like maybe somebody who's a Foamboy fan that doesn't like maybe isn't familiar with your solo stuff and then gets turned on to it to get to hear a song like Chlorine. You
Right.
know,
The
which is,
total
like,
opposite.
super stripped down. That song is beautiful.
Thank you. I love that song. So many friends were on that. What was the other goal of Troublemaker? Was I wanted to get my friends to record stuff, and how many other bedrooms will I wake up in is like all me, like 100% like my brain, and that's fine, but it's like lonely. So my goal was to just like get as many people on there as possible. So Keenan Dorn is playing pedal steel on that one. I
Keenan.
know.
What an incredible musician. And I'm so glad I was at that show the other night at Holocene to watch Keenan rip
Just
on the
goof off.
fucking pedal steel. Definitely one of my favorite musicians in town. Just somebody that just like makes playing their instrument look so effortless.
Oh yeah, that's just his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on that track, and Chang Park on trumpet.
Hell yeah.
Also on chlorine. And I also asked Jill from Chip Nail Polish to play ukulele on it. So it's got a few homies, and that feels really good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's not like the only water reference on the record. There's the pool jam as well. Is
Yeah.
Like, is that I don't know. Is water always like a place that like a safe place, or like a place that you feel grounded in some way? Or
The song called Pool was something I wrote when I was just starting grad school. I did grad school during lockdown times, which was very strange because I felt like no one. Yeah, I say this in the song. I felt like no one cared if I lived or died, especially like in a math program. Yeah, but then it just like I had this image of like how it feels to be like you think you're drowning, but you could just stand up in the pool. So that's where that image comes from.
yeah.
Chlorine came up when I started lap swimming in grad school.
Okay.
I even took like a class with my like free grad student credits. I learned how to like properly lap swim. I highly recommend it for mental health. It's fucking fantastic. I don't really do it much anymore because Portland pools are pretty busy. But I got into it then, and that's kind of it. And the subject of the two albums was like a former like high school swimmer. So I also was doing the classic, like, I'm going to do the thing that the guy like is also doing.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting really into it. So yeah, it's a coincidence. The water thing is, I know there's a theme there, but
Yeah.
yeah, wouldn't say that I'm particularly watery. I am a Cancer, so if that like any zodiac, any like astrology heads out there can maybe analyze
Okay.
the water thing.
We'll bring in the astrology expert to voice their
I don't
opinions
know
now.
anything about it, but I just know when people are like, yes, a water sign. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can smell the chlorine on me. Don't know how to wash it all off. Clear as drowning, I die for you.
Do you like to swim?
Yes. I've never done any like lap swimming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there's definitely something about being in the water that like just feels pretty overwhelmingly calming to me. Like I spent a few weeks in Mexico, like tail end of January into February this year, earlier this year. And I was walking distance to the beach, and I almost went to the beach. I went in the ocean almost every day.
That's awesome.
And I do feel like it's kind of for me personally, the ultimate mood enhancer. There's
Yeah.
like nothing quite like it, where I just feel like a better and clearer person if I get to go in the ocean every day. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Is that
about
another
it.
weird like monkey brain, like primal thing?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it's just being particularly in the ocean, where it just feels so much bigger than anything else. And it like, definitely it's not something you can have any control over. But I don't know. It's just like kind of a beautiful thing to come out of the ocean every day and be like, I feel great, you know? I
Yeah.
feel tired
Yes.
also, but I also just feel like so relaxed, and I don't know. I get maybe like a similar feeling of going to the lake in the summer, but the ocean
The ocean
is like
specifically.
something very different.
It's
But
cold too.
I do remember I grew up in Southern California, so definitely like, you know, access to pools throughout the year. You know, you could be like in the swimming pool in December because it was like
Totally.
reasonable to do so. And like my friends and I, we would like spend hours in the pool. You know, it's just like, I don't know, something about it.
It's
something
awesome.
about being in water that ultimately I think feels pretty calming.
I completely agree. Also, your focus is taken almost 100% by like you're trying to not drown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I also like as someone who struggles with anxiety, those activities that make you just kind of like hit a flow state are like these moments of reprieve.
Yes.
Like so helpful for mental health to just focus on like. Did you hear that?
That was pretty wild. I hope it's on the mics. I don't know if it'll come through. Also, hopefully
A small dog.
sick. All right, cool.
Cool.
Just glad it's no one yelping for their life.
Should we?
No, my neighbors have one of my studio mates here.
Okay.
They have dogs,
Okay.
and it gets a little yappy when people
Yeah.
walk by sometimes.
Okay.
You know, I think it's like a whole situation of there's no windows in here. I brought like my my grandparents' dog in here one time, or my uncle's dog, and they seem like they really don't like not being able to know like what is outside of this room. Like I think it's
Okay.
pretty unsettling.
That's fair. Okay.
So,
Fair.
but I relate to the anxiety thing. Like I also, I don't know, have my own struggles with anxiety, and like, yeah, when I'm in the ocean specifically, it's like I need to like make sure I'm like preparing myself for this wave or whatever,
Yeah.
or like, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's not. I was way super anxious in grad school, and it didn't often last. Like the peace that I felt in the pool, like didn't mean that I emerged from the pool being like, I have no worries. Like
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
would often emerge and be like, I'm still worried, but at least like I had that like 45 minutes of like calm. And with lap swimming specifically, you're breathing really evenly. Like you have to time your breath with your stroke, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like I just found that really helpful and cool. Yeah, it's not something that you have to do when you're like above ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also why I like at that time I was also rock climbing a lot, and I was roller skating a lot, and those are also things where you're like really focused on like not dying.
Yeah.
And that for kind of counterintuitively, I guess, like helps with my anxiety to like do something that really makes me try to not die.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's definitely like something about the way you have to kind of maintain your composure in the ocean if you do get taken down by a wave too, because like the whole key then is to like don't freak out.
Yeah.
Because if you freak out, then you're like even more fucked while you're like getting tumbled under the water a bit, and like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's kind of intense in a cool way.
Do you like do you ever do cold plunges?
Yeah, I've done some cold plunges. I really like that situation, you know. It's brutal, but it's like it's pretty awesome, and like you feel unreal after, I think. And
Yeah.
like also just I think I'm very I think I just like being in water. Like I love like a really long shower if I
Okay.
can. Like I don't want to be rushed if I don't have to be. And usually at the end of the shower I will try to like crank that baby all the way cold to at the end.
I
You
don't
know, it's
like
it's
a cold shower is not for me because you can dodge the water.
Yeah, that's true.
But like to each their like mad respect.
Yeah, just the very end. It's not like
okay.
I'm trying to like be in there like that, but like just the very end.
Okay. How do you feel? Have you ever done a float tank?
I've done
Yeah.
float tank a bunch of times.
I have too.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun. I mean, they're boring.
It's pretty sweet if you
Yeah.
can achieve weightlessness, though.
Yeah.
It's a unreal feeling.
I would I recommend it to folks. Like, try it once.
There was maybe like I don't know, 8 years ago. I was pretty heavily like interested in float tanks, and I was going pretty regularly. It's been a really long time, but I was really interested. I really wanted to like open up my own float tank place. And,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was
what?
crazy. We had like
Okay.
a PowerPoint to fucking try to pitch people on trying to open up a float tank center and
Whoa.
shit. So I was pretty interested in it, but
Okay.
I think it's really awesome.
Fun. That's such a fun fact.
Yeah, I need to do it.
Yeah,
Again.
it's great.
Like, it's been so long.
I feel like it's. I mean, you have to be down to be. It is honestly boring.
Yeah. You
Like-
gotta sit with yourself in the dark.
It's so dark. You don't know where you are
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I feel like the 90-minute is better than. I think the 60-minute is not enough time.
Agreed.
Also.
Agreed.
Because I feel like it takes probably like 45 minutes to actually get used to being in there.
Unless you've done it a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And then you emerge and you're super salty and,
Yeah.
no, I'm a fan.
There's a lot of cool benefits to it
Yeah.
for sure.
Just talking water.
Yeah. This is a water show. This is a brand new water show here.
That's so funny I can't imagine. Clearly, I'm not into it enough to understand like wanting to open your own spot.
Yeah.
Like that's intense to me. That's like I can't imagine. But
There was a couple different elements to it.
Okay.
One, I thought it was like amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, especially after I had a couple of experiences of like achieving the weightlessness. Mm-hmm. Because it's just unlike any other feeling. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as I got more into it and started like doing more research, I like started just understanding the benefits of it and how many different types of people it can benefit, or like the different reasons it can, you know, like it can be a good place to just go clear your mind. And like, if you need to make a big decision in your life, it's a good place to go. Or like, for people that are pregnant, it's super good for like certain states of pregnancy because it's like the relief of it, and just like
Whoa.
all
Yeah.
of the Epsom salts are like just incredible for recovery, and like athletes using it like for years and years. And like, if you want to get fucking far out and psychedelic without, you know, putting mushrooms or acid in your system, it can like, you can get that situation out of it. And like, it just seems like there's like crazy benefits to it. And then the other element of it, it's a pretty good business model. Like,
yeah, yeah, I do. That does make sense to me, and I feel like the thermal cycling people are like on a similar grind where they're like, this genuinely helps with so many things.
Yeah.
Like we all should do this.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I also love like, well, I first asked you about the cold plunge. Like I think it's a similar like vibe, and like maybe it's kind of hippy dippy, but like it just genuinely feels great. And
Yeah.
we should do stuff that feels great.
Yeah.
And like it has all these like different like benefits. There's no drugs involved. Like they're like it will work for most people also.
Yeah.
It's like very accessible, sort of not financially accessible, but like
yeah.
physically accessible, I suppose.
Yeah, I think even with the float tank thing is like, even if maybe you don't achieve the weightlessness thing, you're gonna leave there feeling pretty great after just soaking in those salts.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
exactly.
So
It just feels like, also kind of just feels like a timeout.
yeah,
In a good way.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
a good consensual timeout.
yeah. I mean, I think that's also like the thing of like maybe like going in the ocean every day. It's like, that's definitely a time where your phone device is not going to be like attached to you, and that's like such a hard thing to do. We've made that a very difficult thing to feel, for people to feel comfortable without having their phone on their person. So I think
Yeah.
that there's probably like something to do with that too, where it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna be out here living my life.
No phone.
Doesn't matter what is happening in like the social media universe or on the internet or whatever. Like, it's just, you're just living life in like real
phone free life. I know. It's yeah, phones.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting how addicted we are. It sucks.
It's tough.
It's bad news.
It is very bad.
Yeah.
Your fingers brush my outline. Am I hungry or queasy? I estimate the way this night ends. Your hand on the tip of my neck. Should I be fearing for
Your show ripped the other night, though.
Thank you.
It was so good.
I'm glad you liked
Like,
it.
the band is killing, and I know that's like a rotating kind of cast for you
It is.
at times, or
Yeah, Miguel is almost always there.
Miguel's the mainstay.
Yeah.
Love seeing Miguel. Yeah.
Yeah, the other folks are rotating, and that's two things. It's responding to the honest truth, which is that everyone's busy.
Yeah.
And having I think the corner of the music scene I've found myself in is a lot of people who are in multiple bands, or they're working, they also do church gigs or what have you.
Yeah.
Like, I am under no delusion that they can fully commit to being in my band 100% of the time.
Yeah.
That's the reason one. Reason two is like the inherent dynamic, the dynamic nature of having a rotating cast. I think keeps songs alive and keeps the shows interesting, interesting for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the exact same every time. So those are my two reasons.
Yeah.
For
I think
rotating.
it's really impressive to me, like how tight everything sounded.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, how many times have you played with that lineup?
0.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Point proven, everybody. Yeah, that's good podcasting. I'll tell you what.
It's like
no, it's just that's very cool. Like, and I know that you're like playing with musicians that are like so good that it that's why it appears to feel so tight. You know?
Yeah, and I'm spoiled in a lot of ways with that. There's some cons there. Like these sorts of musicians don't want to rehearse a lot. So I've made my peace with that.
Yeah.
And that can be great. And sometimes it can kick you in the ass. Like, you're not really going to get super nuanced with it if you rehearse 0 to 1 times.
Yeah. Even if it's tight, you're not like really building that chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. My next album is like very different. And even less rock bandy vibes, more like 5 guitars.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
I'm gonna like try to get creative with like having more than maybe like 3 or 4 guitars and like aux percussion situations. I'm probably gonna bring the omnichord.
Okay.
Like, when we're looking at another shakeup in
Cool.
the semi near future. Again, got to keep it fresh.
I'm curious what it feels like for you to be on stage with this guitar strapped to you, you know, versus maybe being a little more free in the Foamboy set, and if that like feels a lot different to you, or
It is different. I don't know how I feel about it. I've also probably already shared this, but like I feel inclined to prove myself as an instrumentalist. And I wish that I didn't feel that way. Like I do know my shit, and I think holding a guitar communicates that you know your shit. But I think I actually prefer not having an instrument strapped to me. And I'm kind of just coming around to that truth. It's a security in its own way to be like, look, I know what notes are. And like vocalists just get a fucking bad rap for like not knowing shit.
yeah,
You don't seem like you agree.
I don't know. Maybe I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I'm just not looking at it that way. Mm-hmm. I think because I think it's stupid.
Well, it is stupid.
I'm not saying where you like.
No. I know what you mean. Like it is.
I just think
stupid.
it's fucking dumb because like you either are, regardless, you're either good at your thing or not, and like you clearly wrote all of these songs, and you are in this other like really fucking sweet band in Foamboy, and you're a big part of that, and like. You don't have to like you shouldn't have to like prove your worth or your knowledge of this shit like over and over, you know. But it was cool for me to get to see you. I was at the Chip Nails album release at Lollipop Shop, and that was like really fun for me to get to watch you play more of a role part in playing like guitar, and like I think you were playing little
keys.
And like that was really cool for me to get to see. But just because like I didn't really know that you did all of those things, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, Katy is good enough. I was just like, oh, fucking Katy's rad. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I honestly, it's like, it's on gender.
Yeah.
I think like it perpetuates itself. Like non-men,
Yeah.
people raised as girls, like are not really encouraged and or
Yeah.
are not welcomed in those roles as often. And it's kind of those things where it's one of those things where like I think I also held myself back with those beliefs for a long time, being like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Like no one wants me in their band on guitar because I'm not good enough. And like certainly like I'm not the best guitar player in town by a long shot, and being around all these jazz guys is like pretty intimidating. But a gift that I got by being in chip nail polish is that I got to do a role. I got to just be the instrumentalist.
Yeah.
And that is like not often a spot that I land in. And I'm trying to do more of that. I'm currently playing in Sam Mendoza's band on omnichord and
Hell yeah.
keys, which has been really fun as well.
Very sweet.
But yeah, I know it's like whenever I talk about the like proving myself thing, people are like, well, that's stupid. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And like, I know that how often am I on a 3-band bill and I'm the only person there who's not a man and I'm the singer?
Yeah.
Like, that's just the shit. That's just the situation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it sucks. And I'm not going to like, there's not much to do about it except like, I don't know, feel bad. I don't know. It's just something that is I've thought about a lot my whole music career. There's just a huge gender discrepancy, and it shows up in certain genres, and it's no one man's fault. Like it just is like a situation.
Yeah.
Hell, even my band is full of men.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. I don't want to kick anyone out, but it sucks. It also just sucks.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't think your feelings around it are stupid.
I appreciate that.
I just think it's like, I'm sorry that that's the thing. You know?
Yeah, and
that
you know,
we're still not quite past that. You know.
and I've never been mistaken as like a girlfriend or anything. Like when I've showed up to a gig, which is great,
Yeah.
but I'm still talked down to by sound techs. And granted, most people are. Like
That is also true.
like that is not necessarily like a gendered experience, but I'll never know what it's like to talk to a sound tech
Yeah.
like in a different body presenting a different way, but it is like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're rip
Well, thank you.
on
yeah.
vocals, on instruments. You know.
I appreciate
like,
that.
Yeah.
I do know my shit.
Going back to, I don't know, that we touched on earlier, like when you're up there and you're leading your band, I trust you. You know?
Yeah.
Like
I'm in charge.
feel like you're in control of the thing. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's awesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard and I've been doing this for a long ass time. So
Yeah.
at this point, I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For the most part. But there's always more to learn, and I'm really excited about being in other people's bands right now and like not being a front person, just to like, cuz those are pushes for like learning new skills. And my goal is to just be a lifelong learner. My favorite gig that I've done recently was a duo show with Pillow Spiders. We opened for Via Mardot. I don't know if you know who that artist is.
I don't.
She's like kind of like internet famous, sort of like TikTok-y, but like she's a theremin player.
Okay.
So we opened for like a theremin. It was like
That's crazy.
a theremin player at Polaris like last fall, and we were like, okay, like this show to match the weird vibes, like we got to do something weird.
Yeah.
So the instrumental lineup was guitar, micro Korg. That's what Kiki was playing.
Okay.
I was playing an 80s Casio tone, and my Yamaha Reface and Omnichord, all through pedals and vocals. And it was so fun, and it was a huge challenge. It's like truly just like in the lab, like managing through multiple instruments. We were using the built-in beats on the vintage Casio tone. And I loved that gig because it was such a challenge, and such a push. I really like every time I'm given that opportunity, I want to take it, because that's when I get better, not when I'm just like practicing in my house. Like,
Yeah.
I need the gig. What I guess where I'm leading us is like, I need the gig to make me a better musician.
And you're down for the challenge, it seems like.
I
which
really
is
am.
Awesome. you
Yeah.
know?
It's so good to learn, and I think that's also what keeps us all like fresh.
Yeah.
I like to try to ask musicians to play instruments that are not their norm. I'm like getting guitar players to play bass, for example. It's like, yeah, like you should, this is like a learning opportunity, so we don't get bored
Yeah.
on this earth.
What keeps you making music with Justin? So I know you got this other record that's almost ready. You got other songs aside from that record. You made this Troublemaker record with Justin. Like, what is special about that collaboration that just makes you feel like that's kind of he's the dude?
I feel like there's so much mutual trust and respect, and that just feels so important to me. And we've also worked out how to work together. And I want to experience that with other people. And like, certainly like, I would not like limit myself to working with one recording engineer or producer forever, but we know how to work together.
Yeah.
And we have informed how the other person works as well. I think Justin has like a really open mind, and like this ear for precision, but like also knows when to quit.
Yeah.
And I just trust him with my mixes. It's always a good hang. Yeah, I just feel very like heard. I feel very listened to and respected by him, like as a recording engineer. And we've genuinely recorded so much together with all of the projects since like 2017. It's like hard to imagine not making music with him. And he's probably trying to get rid of me. But yeah, we're gonna make another album together. I think, because it's just like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's also like nice to work in a home studio again that I like trust. And paying for studio time is like this really scary thing. I know people do it that way, and sometimes there's something really nice about like the actual like time limits. If you're like, I'm paying for studio time, we have 2 days to do this. Like, you don't have a chance to overthink it. But the way that Justin works, so there's not really a studio time like limiter, and I prefer that personally.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
sweet. The record
No.
sounds fucking rad.
Thank you.
You know?
No, his mixes are always really good. And I think that you'll have to ask him, but I think we really do inform each other and like have influenced each other on like our sensibilities, like what kind of sounds we are interested in, and we already kind of like similar sounds. Yeah, there's just a lot of exchange there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about our chat?
I think we
You feel
chatted.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling caffeinated. I finished my coffee. Ready to go.
We talked about water. We talked about your music.
Yeah, well, what else did we talked about Apple.
We mentioned Guitar Bob a couple times.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So boring that I repeated myself. Gosh, I don't know what else there is to say. I feel like you know my whole deal.
Good. I mean, that's like what I hope to walk away from this. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't know,
Maybe other
hopefully
people know.
listening, that are already a fan of you or new to your music, maybe they get a little more insight
I hope you
on
like
who
the album.
Katy is. I really like the album. I think it's really, really great.
I think it's some of my finest work.
It's pretty cool.
And I'm excited to keep making more. And I hope people stick around for the next, and the next.
I'm around
And the
for
next.
it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm here for
Get
it.
ready to be sad. The next album is full of like, what's different about it is there's like, basically every song has either omnichord or this like 80s Casio tone
Okay.
that I'm borrowing kind of indefinitely from a friend. Just these like goofy, cheesy old sounds, or even leveraging those and filtering them to make them not cheesy.
Yeah.
It's just been cool. I think it's an analog's the wrong word, but we've kind of limited our sonic palette to like these specific instruments. I'm an omnichord like lover.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a popular opinion. They're so expensive now because they're like trendy.
Okay.
But I love it. It's actually like it's been such a great tool. I don't know if you've ever played around on an omnichord.
I have not.
Do you know what I'm talking? Do you
I do know what
yeah,
you're talking
okay.
about. Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna have to come to a show, and where I've got it, and then we'll.
Push a button.
Oh, it's so fun. They're really fun. There's the buttons for the chord hold, and then the strum plate that goes.
Okay.
Ding-a-ling.
Hell
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They're great. So I'm in my omnichord era.
Okay.
That's the last thing you needed to know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Omnichord era, Katy, music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Katy. We end every episode of the podcast with the guest saying the tagline for the show, which is "It's a program."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It means nothing. It's just the way my grandfather says the thing. You've done it before with Will.
Okay.
And now I'm challenging you to do it on your own. Just
I will.
The Katy and the Null Sets. It's a program. However you want to deliver it. It's the one time I'll ask you to look at the camera there so people can, see what's happening if they're watching. And you can do it however you want to do it.
Okay, I'm going to count myself in.
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3. It's a program.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Katy and the Null Sets. I'm going to put all the links in the episode notes so people can keep up with you. I'll throw the links for Foamboy in there too. You can check out the previous chat if you would like to. If you enjoyed this one, I encourage you to do that. But also, please check out the Katy and the Null Sets Troublemaker record. Check out the EP before too. Some bangers on there.
Yeah, thank
Completely
you.
different feel, which is awesome. I want to play the episode out with the last track on the album, which is called Shouldn't I Be Done? Anything you want to share about this one?
It's about thinking you're going to be married by 30 and then not being married.
Perfect. That's what it's about, everybody. Links are in the episode notes. That's the Jelly Jams, and we will catch you on the flip side, Portland, or wherever you are listening from. Go in the water or something. Hell yeah. We did it.
Past my houses I was naked in, and the boys that I was naked with don't live there anymore. It's a trip. Losing count of all the times I've lost. Yeah, it's fine, I've learned a lot, but shouldn't I be done?